him?
Well, just everything about him. You know, he's a decorated amateur. He got a lot of experience in the amateur field. He may only have 11 fights, but he's 11 fights in the world champion for a reason. So he's strong. I got to respect everything about him. You know, just like I got to respect everything about any other opponent that I've been in the ring with, because everybody brings something different.
Crawford recently spoke about his amazing time sparring with Andre Ward, stating that it was awesome to have experienced that moment in the ring with such a well-known fighter. Crawford was thankful for the opportunity to enter the ring with Ward. Crawford considered the session to be really enlightening and will always remember it as a special moment.
It was dope. It was dope. It was dope. And I appreciate Dre for even, giving me the opportunity to step in the ring with him. I can say that, I sparred Andre Ward. That's dope, So, it was good sparring. It was very, very good experience for me.
Crawford acknowledged that it might be a difficult fight when asked about the possible technical difficulties presented by Israil Madrimov. He also stated that every fight has the potential to be his most difficult to date, and that he would only fully comprehend the difficulty once he was in the ring. Crawford recognized Israil Madrimov as a strong opponent and emphasized that he was taking the match very seriously and had prepared thoroughly, making it impossible to take quick cuts.
Could be. Like I said, in the past, every fight could be my toughest fight. I don't know until I step foot in the ring. Israil is definitely a tough opponent. We definitely not taking him lightly. We never, took any shortcuts on this fight.
Though Eddie Hearn, a well-known boxing promoter, has a more cautious view, the chairman of Match Boxing believes that the WBA champion might just pull off a stunning upset against one of the sport's top pound-for-pound contenders. Turki Al-Sheikh, a titan in the boxing world, is organizing the upcoming showdown between Terence Crawford and Israil Madrimov. Al-Sheikh is the chairman of Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority. Al-Sheikh has played a pivotal role in several high-profile boxing events over the past year and a half, including the highly anticipated bout between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. About the upcoming 154-pound title fight, Hearn said, "I'm really sorry to ruin your plans for Terence Crawford because all people are talking about is what happens next. I actually sent a message to His Excellency yesterday, expressing my regret for disrupting your plans for the upcoming 154-pound title fight against Israil Madrimov, which is likely to be the best card American boxing has ever seen on August 3rd in Los Angeles." Boots by Canelo Alvarez and Hearn went on to say that I believe Israil Madrimov will be the hardest test of Crawford's career to date at 154 pounds. He is a massive light middleweight super welterweight puncher with excellent movement, a high boxing IQ, and an incredible amateur pedigree. This fight is scheduled for July 2023. With an incredible TKO victory over Errol Spence Jr., Terence Crawford created history by capturing the title of undisputed welterweight champion. Bud Crawford is the first boxer to win 2 undisputed world titles in separate weight classes. After Spence Jr. activated his rematch clause, discussions for a rematch commenced. However, because Crawford was contractually obligated to fight Spence again, the sanctioning body stripped Crawford of the IBF title for failing to face his mandatory challenger, Jaron Ennis. Following the collapse of the rematch negotiations, the former IBF welterweight champion announced his move to the 154 PB division, where he is determined to reclaim his title. Meanwhile, Ennis is widely regarded as one of boxing's elite talents following his recent IBF title defense against David Abnishin. Turki Al-Sheikh shared this on X. "I recently contacted Eddie Hearn and boxer Jaron Ennis to congratulate them on their victory. In the near future, I would like to see Ennis challenge Crawford at 154 pounds. With a stellar record of 10-17, Israil Madrimov, the current WBA junior middleweight champion, asserts with confidence that his vast amateur background has adequately prepared him for his next championship defense. Terence Crawford, a former 2-division undisputed champion with a perfect record of 40-0-31, will face off against Israil Madrimov. Madoff emphasizes that during his amateur career, he fought in over 300 matches, the majority of which were held in international competitions. Madoff stated that in terms of experience, yes, I have fought in 10 excellent professional fights, all of which were WBA bouts that lasted 12 rounds and had tough opposition. In addition, I have fought in over 200 international amateur bouts, for a total of over 300 amateur matches. I have battled against fighters from all around the world. Everything will be revealed on August 3rd. With one of the most remarkable careers in modern boxing history, Southpaw Crawford went to Glasgow, Scotland, 10 years ago to defeat WBO lightweight champion Ricky Burns and win his first world title following 2 successful defenses. After moving up to the junior welterweight class, Crawford won the WBC, WBA, and IBF belts. He accomplished this again in the welterweight division last year, winning 18 world titles in 3 different weight divisions. Despite Crawford's perfect record, he has won every one of those contests, with 15 of those victories coming via knockout. Israil Madrimov claims to see opportunities that Crawford ought to notice. Madoff stated, "We have some things we've been watching. We're not going to talk about them right now. Many fighters are losing before they ever enter the ring, meaning their careers are already kind of in decline with me. In addition to Madam's WBA championship, there will be a chance to win the vacant WBO interim title in the Crawford fight because I have a powerful mental game." Madoff continued, "I am aware of my capabilities and understand the significance of this struggle for me, my family, my legacy, and the entire nation. With the support of the entire nation, I will do everything in my power to win, and my only thoughts will be good ones. Everyone is talking about this fight and anticipating the August 3rd battle with growing excitement for this important match, and I know what I'm capable of." Crawford ignores rumors of a potential rematch with Saul Canelo Alvarez in favor of focusing solely on Israil Madrimov. Crawford declared, "At this moment, my thoughts are solely focused on August 3rd and the fight against Israil Madrimov. I'm not thinking about Canelo or any other boxer. That's all that's on my mind." Despite his stellar record, Israil Madrimov appears to be embroiled in a fierce rivalry with the undefeated Virgil Ortiz Jr. while training for his fight against Bud Crawford. Madrimov sparred with Ortiz Jr. under the guidance of Robert Garcia. The animosity started when Madoff made comments about the sparring session and Ortiz, who did not sit well with the American boxer. Speaking about Ortiz Jr. during the interview, Israil Madrimov called him a strong guy, a decent guy, and stated that their sparring session had been a positive experience for him. In summation, "He is a typical boxer," he said, expounding on his initial thoughts when asked if Ortiz Jr. had left a lasting impression on him. He emphasized Ortiz Jr.'s noteworthy advantages, especially his relentless pressure on opponents and his powerful punch volume. In spite of this amiable reply, Ortiz Jr. appeared to take offense at some of the things Israil Madrimov said. Turning to the Dallas, Texas native, he later added, "Our game plan was to play with him. It sounds like an excuse, like I wasn't really trying when this normal boxer put it on his ass." He also added, "Mav didn't even show up for their sparring session the next Monday without informing them." Although it's evident that Virgil Ortiz Jr. isn't impressed by the 29-year-old fighter, British promoters fear that Israil Madrimov could dash Saudi Arabia's ambitions of landing Terence Crawford. Crawford is making his debut in the welterweight division with this match, and His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh has high hopes for Crawford's performance. It remains to be seen what Crawford will bring to the table in his upcoming matchup with Israil Madrimov. Despite spending the past year reveling in his triumph against Errol Spence and now moving into a new weight class, Crawford's performance is still unknown. Nearing 37 years old, Crawford's record is a far cry from previous multi-division world champions who have accomplished feats akin to those of Adrian Broner. Over the last 3 years, Crawford has fought sparingly against fighters like David Avanesyan, Sean Porter, who has already faded, and Errol Spence. Simple work to get him up to what was probably 180, stated trainer Robert Garcia was quoted in the news discussing Israil Madoff's actions during his sparring session with Virgil Ortiz Jr., which is the main reason I believe Crawford will defeat him. "We've sparred together in the ring." Crawford predicted that he would be captured in less than 7. Virgil Ortiz predicted that Terence Crawford will be eliminated early due to Madoff. It appears that Ortiz and the undefeated Madoff are at odds over Israil Madrimov's recent remarks in an interview. Off's claim that he was only having fun with Ortiz during their sparring is being contested by Virgil, although it's questionable whether a sparring match can truly be considered a win, and whether you even receive a ribbon for excelling in sparring. Virgil Jr. is dubious of these claims and stands by his performance, insisting that he dominated their training session. His coach, Robert Garcia, supports this assertion, claiming Virgil came out on top. Although Virgil Jr.'s reaction to his sparring sessions may seem insignificant, it's clear that he's looking for ways to build anticipation for his next fight against Bohak, the WBC's interim junior middleweight champion. The fight has mostly gone unnoticed despite substantial marketing efforts, mostly because of the poor promotion. Fan enthusiasm has been minimal. Though it may be a bit unconventional, sparring with Israil Madrimov could be the ideal way to generate some excitement. Virgil Jr. has been relatively inactive recently, mainly due to ongoing health concerns. He has also failed to influence fans. We can only hope that Virgil doesn't make it a habit of using sparring stories to boost his profile and become the next training camp sensation. In response to LA's defeat, Robert Garcia stated that Virgil Ortiz could defeat Crawford. We move on that path as well. Virgil becomes the WBA champion, and Crawford becomes the interim champion. That is the next fight that may occur. Robert believes that Virgil should face retired world light heavyweight champion Antonio Tarver or WCC junior middleweight champion Sebastian Fondor. Bud Crawford, who made his junior middleweight debut against Errol Spence Jr. in 2023, has chosen a challenging opponent for his debut. The 36-year-old southpaw from Omaha, Nebraska, is reportedly getting close to facing undisputed super middleweight champion Saul Canelo Alvarez. If this fight happens, Crawford would have to move up 2 more weight classes. Mexican icon Alvarez has not shown much interest in the idea though. Crawford has stated that he would love to face Canelo Alvarez, the undisputed super middleweight champion, but he has put talks about the fight on hold in order to get ready for his WBA title match against Israil Madrimov. Crawford, the undefeated champion with a perfect record of 40-0, recently spoke with the media about the prospect of facing Alvarez in the future. He is focused on winning the undisputed crowns in the 154-pound class, with Israil Madrimov serving as his first opponent.
Now, in a potential Terence Crawford Boots Ennis fight, then Terence Crawford versus Canelo. Am I crazy for saying that? Or
No, crazy. You're not crazy because that's your opinion.
right?
You know, that's your opinion, but at the same time, you know, being where I'm at right now, I'm looking at the fight that makes the most sense, and that's not Boots. Canelo is going to bring way more to my legacy, way more to my bank account, you know, because at the end of the day, when boxing is done with, what will we have?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want to have a legacy that's something that people talk about for the ages.
If you like this video, be sure to watch some of our others that are displayed on the screen.